Alright, so I tried to do this once before. I hit the wrong button and my phone shut off like a dumbass. I was requested to do a comparison video between the Bamboo Mat by Hanwei and the bamboo themed Choji Hamon katana from Saint Nihonto. I spent a lot of time on the first video just talking, so I'm just going to get right to it. We're going to start here at the scars. We'll start with shape. I believe the Hanwei is a little bit messy, just my opinion. It's kind of sloped at an odd angle. So I'm going to give the Saint Nihonto the point for this one. As far as furniture on the ska, I would give it to Saint Nihonto. I prefer a rounded kashira as opposed to the square one or just the flat one. This just is more comfortable when maneuvering the sword. So points for the ska shape goes to Saint Nihonto. Points for the furniture goes to Saint Nihonto. Let's go to the Ito wrap. The material on this one is silk. The material on this one is leather. Personal preference, I prefer leather. So let's go even one step further. Which one is tied better? I would give it to Saint Nihonto because the only flaw on this one is you got a little spot right here that didn't quite match up, and they kind of they may have made a mistake when they came out of the battle wrap, but the rest of it lines up. Hanweis are just kind of all over the place. That one's smaller than that one's small. It's like small, big, small, big. You know, they didn't really take their time when they tied this, and then down here, those don't even look like diamonds. So the wrapping, the actual wrap job, I give it to Saint Nihonto. Supas are the same, pretty much, except the Hanwei has gold on the leaves right here. So you can, same design, pretty much. But I give the Suba design to Hanwei. I give the Hibaki to Hanwei because I don't care for this two-tone stuff. Moving along to the blades, let's start with the polish. The Hamon and just the overall polish of the Saint Nihonto blade. It's almost mirror. You can see me in it. Whereas Hanwei's, it's good, but the Hamon is just not as prominent as the Saint Nihonto. So I'm going to give polish and overall blade appearance to Saint Nihonto. Now, blade material, I don't know really the specs of HWS-02 or whatever it is. I don't know what the Rockwell is on it because they don't list it. T10 on the Saint Nihonto, I know T10 very well, and if it's done good, it's a good steel. So it's a tie between the steels because it's not a fair comparison. I don't know the Rockwells on either sword. But from appearance standpoint, I give it to Saint Nihonto. I stated in the first video that I did on the Hanwei that the blade is 28 and 7/8 inches, but you take out the curvature and the sori, they're kind of almost the same length because the blades, the Kisakis match up. So blade length is not really something you would grade on, but it's just something to, that's just some food for thought. Let's go to the Kisakis. Very, very nicely shaped Kisaki on the Saint Nihonto. Hanwei, your standard Shinogi Zukuri. Trying to get the phone to focus. But I prefer that style of Kisaki over to that one. Just seems like it'd be a better cutter. So I would give the Kisaki rating to Saint Nihonto. And it's interesting because I don't get very many, hardly any videos requests at all about me to do a specific video. I just do what I do and people comment. Let's go into the saya comparisons. Now, this one is the one for the Hanwei. It's piano finish, and anytime you touch it, it's just going to mark it up, and you're going to get smudges and etc. and so on and so forth. This isn't the original Sageo that came with it. The one that came with it was kind of shoestringy, so I slapped on a synthetic Japanese silk one that I had laying around. So, saya, material, and paint and finish, I would give it to Saint Nihonto. This is not piano finish. This is, I can't think of the term. I think it's matte finish, so if I'm wrong, someone correct me. but it has a texture to it. It's not slippery. It doesn't smudge too bad when you hold it. This is the Sageo that came on it. It's still in the presentation knot. This is very thick, high quality, and I don't plan on changing it. The only way I would change this was because I don't like the color, but I'm kind of digging it. So Sageo and Saya I would give to St. Nihonto. There's also no buffalo horn on this Saya. There's barely even it just goes from the paint to the wood. Which, if you're doing draw cuts, you guys know how easy it is to split your Saya. So be careful if you buy this sword. Is that buffalo horn? It's so hard to tell. It looks like it may have something there. I don't know. You guys be the judge of it, because there's a seam here. If it is horn, it's very hard to tell. I didn't even notice that the first time I looked at it. But on the St. Nihonto, you can see it may not be buffalo horn exactly. There is a end cap to it. Definite seam here with a protective ring, at least in some way, shape, or form, around the koiguchi, which is the mouth of the Saya. This one, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. If you think it's buffalo horn, if you think it's not, leave me a comment. It's hard to tell. So, obviously, in my opinion, like I said, the St. Nihonto unokubi zukuri blade is a better made sword than the Hanwei. Now, does that mean that the bamboo mat's not good? Does it mean that you may like that one better than this one if you bought both of them? I'm not saying anything. I'm just doing a video request. I love both swords. But the thing is, that one was $400. That one was $800. Do the math. So you're talking about a sword that costs twice as much. The Saya doesn't. I'm not going to go into all that. I did my comparison, and you guys can decide for yourself. Let me know what you guys think about what I said in the video. Oh, another thing, out-of-box sharpness. Forgot that. As I said in the first impressions video of the St. Nihonto katana, these didn't require me to do anything to them, except I took a strop over it just to smooth out, just to give it that hair-popping sharpness. This one, I actually had to break out the lower grit belt, as you can see by the line that formed on the ha. And just while we're up here, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Hope I don't cut myself when I'm trying to show this, but it looks like there's some kind of up and down they did when they were grinding this. This isn't me. It was already kind of shaped funny right here toward the bottom of the sword. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And like I said, I don't do many of these requests because I don't really get that many. But let me know what you guys think. What sword do you think came out the winner? I don't know. I'll go with the St. Nihonto. And have I cut with either one of them? No. So I can't really do the final test, which would be cutting, which one cuts the best. I will say that the shape on the unokubi zukuri has very light Hanaku. And let's look at the bamboo mat real quick before we go. And this one also has a pretty thin profile. Honestly, this one would probably outcut the unokubi zukuri, being that it's a little bit heavier. It looks like it's a little bit thinner geometry. But that skill is all on the swordsman. It's whatever you're used to. But as far as aesthetics, as far as appearance, I got to give it to the St. Nihonto. Maybe when I get some mats, we'll put it to the final test. But that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Which sword, in your opinion, came out the winner? Leave me a comment down below. Peace.